Welcome everyone to another episode of On the Couch with the Unconventional CA. My name is Jameel Khan, and today I have another special guest with us, Claire Klassen from MMI, the CSI team. Claire, welcome to our podcast.
Thank you very much. It's wonderful to be here, Jameel.
Awesome. I think let's get straight into it. So Claire, I would like the viewers and the listeners just to get a sense of who you are and your role at MMH.
Certainly. I work in the corporate environment, in corporate social investment, and basically just to upskill your listeners a little bit, it is about doing good in society from a corporate. My portfolio is the financial education portfolio. Okay. We have specific criteria to remain compliant, and that means, we need to target our financial education programs to youth between the ages of 18 and 35. And these specific youth need to come from backgrounds that are disadvantaged. We call it living standards measurement 1 to 8. The individual income proxy needs to be less than 250,000 Rand per annum, and 25% of the budget that we spend needs to be spent in rural communities. The component of participants needs to be ACI, African Colored Indian. And those are the demographics that assist us to reach our BBEE scorecard points.
I'd like to just transition into some of the work that you're doing currently on financial education. We see it with our entrepreneurs. You'd think that they're running a business for between 5 and 10 years. They know how to work with money and manage money. But even at that level, a lot of the entrepreneurs still struggle to manage money, but I can just imagine what you see on your side working with some of the youth around financial management. So I'd love just for you to share some of the lessons or some of the things you've seen and then also just transitioning to some of the lessons for our viewers to take in terms of managing financial management and managing wealth.
From a financial education perspective, it's all about how do you manage your money. The programs that we develop at Momentum Metropolitan are geared towards, teaching people how to budget, how to save, understanding a payslip, what is credit management, and introduction to investments, for example. We went out to the University of KwaZulu-Natal to basically implement a pilot program. Now, for me, it was really, really interesting because it wasn't one of those programs where you only focus on the business side of things, It also focused on you as an individual, which is what appealed to me and allowed me to take it to my manager and say, can we please pilot this program? It doesn't only speak to business, it's called business mastery. But it also speaks to the personal side, which is how to understand yourself, how to understand the stresses that an entrepreneur has to face, and how to ensure that you are this holistic individual to be able to manage a sustainable business, right? And that appealed to me. So that is actually why we had this pilot at the university, at their entrepreneurial division. Yeah, and we went out to KZN, and it was refreshing, actually.
The elements that you touched on was on personal mastery and business mastery and how that integrates and focusing on the individual themselves. Yes. But what I'd like to know is, what are some of the current and future projects, that you and your team are planning on working on? Just something interesting for the viewers to look out for. If any of the viewers fit into any of those categories, at least they can apply to be a part of some of your programs. So maybe just touch briefly on what are you currently busy with, and what are some of the future programs that you will be launching, in the next year or a bit.
Thanks, Jameel. Well, our consumer financial education strategy has been revamped. It was approved in August 2022. From that point, we looked at the programs that we had, and the program that we had, our flagship program called Mateo Financial Dialogues, was implemented face-to-face since 2016, teaching those elements of needs and wants, budgeting, savings, etc. So we took that content and redeveloped the curriculum in such a way that we used our evaluation reporting, and we are piloting it right now. It's actually live from March the 9th in 3 different modalities. They call it modalities: face-to-face, pure online self-learning, like a Udemy course, for example. Sure. And then blended learning, where you actually go onto a platform called Moodle, and you then learn the content, right? So this takes place over 4 weeks. There are 4 modules, and the face-to-face one is held in different communities where the youth between the ages of 18 and 35 attend with our implementer, and they learn these fundamentals, right? So the people who can apply to be involved in this program are 18 to 35-year-olds, and we find them at universities, TVET colleges, work readiness programs, and we also deal with unemployed youth who are actively looking for a job, okay? Because the elements that they learn will assist them when they go into their job. All right, so that's essentially what we're doing. We are piloting this first iteration. At the same time, we are conducting research, and a survey is available, which I can share with you, where the youth now can become involved. We want to understand, how do they want to learn financial education? Because up until now, in industry, it's a blanket process where we say, okay, this is what you want to know, or this is what we think you need to know to be a successful individual and to change your mindset and attitudes to managing your money. But then what we found is that it's not pitched directly to the target audience, because they wanted to learn something else, or they want to learn maybe on a cell phone or a tablet, for example.
On TikTok.
Yeah, those type of things. That's why we're doing this research survey, and we will reiterate it, or let's say there will be 4 different versions of this program up until December 2024, right? Okay. And simultaneously we have a program which we're developing specifically for entrepreneurship, for unemployed youth, because let's face it, even if you have a university degree or a qualification of some sort, in our country, you're not guaranteed to have a job once you qualify, right? There are people with degrees and PhDs and masters that are sitting at home unemployed. There are also unemployed youth who come from communities where they have to think about how they're going to have the next meal, right? So we thought about developing a program geared towards encouraging unemployed youth to think more about entrepreneurship, okay? And that is going to be piloted in December 2024.
Okay.
So the current one we're having right now is to teach you the fundamentals of what you need to know when you go to start working and how to manage your money. This other program is going to be aligned to the Metropolitan brand, which is really focused on entrepreneurial wellness.
Okay.
And yeah, we're looking forward to rolling that out. Your viewers can go onto our website. They can become involved, especially with regards to the survey that we're doing, because we're very interested in our young entrepreneurs, those with side hustles. Even if you sell a quota, you will need to know how to manage your money. What's the difference between personal and business finance? Yeah.
So Claire, you've spoken a little bit, told the viewers a little bit about what you do at MMH. we spoke around financial education and how important that is. But I think it's important in the context of our country to also talk about women.
Right.
And financial education of women in this country. So can you maybe touch or give us your opinion, specifically on women and education, financial education for women in the context of what you do?
Certainly. Jameel, this is a subject that is really close to my heart, right? Okay. First of all, I love youth, all right? I'm a woman myself, and I know in South Africa we have, this, I would call it a pandemic, the real pandemic in South Africa, which is gender-based violence, okay? It is also where women feel disempowered. Now, what I've seen happen lately is as soon as a young woman earns a good living, let's say she's educated, she receives a degree, this is her first job, or she gets a promotion to a higher paying job. What I've seen happen is that there's this movement where we have to show the world where we are. We've achieved something, all right? You have to show that. You have to show that you have arrived. Now, I had the opportunity to witness this young lady being able to purchase a very expensive, powerful vehicle, okay? She only had a license for 1 month. And the vehicle that she purchased was a very powerful engine, okay? With my first vehicle, I purchased a used vehicle, not a brand new one. And it didn't have a very powerful engine because when you drive for the very first time, you can scratch your car. It's very easy to dent it, right? So this young woman is about 25 years old, 25 years of age. Her insurance premium is very high, firstly because of the vehicle, and secondly because of her age. Now, what I want to talk about really is for our young women to know you do not have to be a member of the Golden Rings Club, okay? And I'm not saying this from a judgmental, high, perched up perspective. I'm saying this because I care. That very same individual damaged her car a week later. And because she wanted to have a lower premium to pay, her excess was 27,000 Rand. Sure. So for any damage on the vehicle, you need to pay 27,000 Rand. And this is the financial decision that you need to make. Don't go out and want to purchase a very flashy vehicle or move out of your parents' house where you have the advantage of paying a minimal amount of rent and maybe contributing to groceries, going out to rent in the suburbs, because that is what all your friends are doing. On the other side, we have young women in our country who depend on men still, and they call them blessers. And we sort of engage from that level. But yeah, from being a female in South Africa is very challenging.
Thank you very much, Claire. It's been a pleasure getting to know you and having you on our podcast. For all the viewers out there, please follow, share, subscribe to our podcast. If you did enjoy it, leave a comment, leave a thumbs up for us. But once again, Claire, thanks for joining our podcast. It's been a pleasure. I'll see you on the next episode of On the Couch with the Unconventional CA.
Thank you very much. Lovely being on your couch.